leader was a master organizer. She could get more done in a day than most people felt like they could get done in an entire week. She was praised for this by people in her work world and her home world, and so she was really, really proud of it, kind of like a signature. But she was always running late with her kids, with her team, with her friends. It was always a down to the last minute kind of rush because she hated wasting time. And so then she'd plan to spend to the very last minute, always thinking that she could fit in one last thing. And often she could fit that thing in, but just as often, she was often cutting it so close that she made her rushed and sometimes impatient and often just a little bit late. And this is the StrengthsFinder CliftonStrengths Arranger theme in its brilliance, and maybe it's not so brilliance. She got it all in, but everyone noticed that she was always late and it was affecting her relationships. I'm Becky Hammond, founder and strengths maven over at IsogoStrong.com and host of Isogo TV podcast, where we are here to make relationships easier on your teams and in our families by using our strengths instead of fixating on weakness. And this is episode 98 in our Make Relationships Easier series, where we are taking a look at each of the 34 CliftonStrengths talent themes that you might more commonly know or more historically know as the StrengthsFinder strengths. We're going to see what we can do to dial these in to impact our relationships. That ultimately impacts every aspect of our lives. Because when we're really honest, relationships are the building block of life. Here we are sitting with your Arranger talent. So Arranger, if you have this one, it's like your conductor strength that thrives in all sorts of different types of happenings. It allows you to see how complicated systems can become simplified and draw efficiency from things that are complex. And depending on your other talent themes, you'll see your Arranger strength in your natural ability to bring flexible systems or flexible order to systems or to people to get the job done. Your Arranger talent will have the most potential to thrive when you immerse yourself in a dynamic environment. And one of my clients with brilliant Arranger talent says that this strength appears most significantly when the environment borders on chaotic. He can easily make sense of the chaos and help set the course by positioning both the players and the plan together, and then he's totally thrilled by it as well. This type of environment drives some people crazy. And once you've mastered a complex environment, you're going to find yourself craving that next chaotic issue so that you can start to orchestrate that. And just like the rest of these strengths, it's up to us as to how we decide to put it to work. If Arranger is one of your themes, the volume that you choose for it in any given situation will help you get to that point of making relationships easier or harder. When your Arranger strength is in overdrive, it can feel difficult to keep up with for other people, which isn't always a point of pride. When you're seeing connections and efficiencies that others don't and are not clear about it, it can seem like you're all over the place, which really doesn't add to that trust and stability that your team or your family are looking for and that they need in order to feel confident and secure in your relationship with them. So, here are a couple ideas of ways to craft your environment to feed your Arranger strength while building these strong, easier relationships. So first, embrace the chaos, then explain your plan. Since you tend to live and thrive in an active environment with a lot going on, just own it and don't complain about it. Chances are you're even bringing it on yourself. At the same time, recognize that this isn't necessarily the case for everybody around you. So help make order from chaos by being clear, first with yourself, what am I trying to do, and with others about how you see the process or the people coming together, because you naturally see that. And this clarity will go miles in their ability to understand with you and connect with you, and then ultimately to trust you too. And then second, reframe your mindset. So much of using our strengths to make relationships easier is about mindset. We've been talking about that. And the discipline or the commitment to follow that mindset through with action. The mindset is to know and appreciate and dial in your own strengths and to know and appreciate the strengths of the people around us. So for this Arranger strength, be mindful of what you expect of yourself in any given day or situation. If you're a systems or task-oriented Arranger, give yourself grace to cut out one thing. even if it's a little bit less efficient. If you're a people-oriented arranger, recognize that not everyone sees their role and perfect fit like you do. Take an extra beat to help them see that they are an essential part of the puzzle and the orchestration. And when you approach your arranger talent with this mindset, people are much more likely to see your talent as a strength that you can offer to them as well. So there we have it. Scratching the surface about using your arranger strength to make relationships easier around you. To let your strengths be the things that propel you to a more flourishing family or a team. If you operate from this arranger strength, or you know someone who does, I'd love to know how this episode has sat with you and the actions that we talk about. How do they resonate? How do they not? And maybe even better, I'd love to know what else would you do to dial in your arranger strength to make relationships easier around you? Maybe what have you tried? And there are two ways to answer this, and I'm telling you, this question is not rhetorical. I'd really love to know. The first way is to comment on the blog post that goes up with this episode over at isogostrong.com/episode 98. And the second way is to head over to Instagram and tag me or DM me at isogostrong with your example of arranger gone well or gone astray. And for both the website and Instagram, that is spelled ISOGO strong. As always, if this episode resonated with you, we'd love an awesome rating over at iTunes. So thanks for obliging us in that. You know, you and your strengths have the power to make a ripple effect in your family and on your team, and then ultimately across the entire world to make relationships easier and propel you and the people around you to a flourishing family and team. So dial them in, take ownership for your mindset, and make those relationships easier. Until next time on Isogo TV.